Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading. So, are you ready for this? This is going to be a huge month for you. It feels like it's going to be a huge year for you. A huge couple of years, actually. In May, you're going to have the North Node switching into your signs, and Venus is going to be retrograde there. And so, what it feels like is all eyes on you, everyone looking at you. And being Gemini, I do think that you're quite used to that. I think that that's something that you've had to become used to throughout your life. You're very interesting as a person. It's kind of part of your destiny in a sense. And so I think that you're used to it. I think that you might even be thriving off of it. That you enjoy that kind of, attention and interaction and, dynamic environment. But still, this feels different. It feels like a shift of power, actually. It feels like within the sign of Gemini, we're going to be shifting power sources. And so I think that will affect you quite greatly because it means that you will have to adapt, essentially. It's an evolution taking place. And so, I think that the way you do that, the way you adapt, is gonna have a lot to say in regards to kind of the position that you will be keeping throughout the next 2 years. So I'm trying to kind of unravel this energy. It's a complex energy, and of course, these are changes that are happening within all of us, within all of our collective consciousnesses or consciousness. And so it's not necessarily that easy to pinpoint it at this time, but I did draw some animal spirit cards, I believe that they are called, and they were quite interesting. I think that they can give us some more hints of what's happening or what's going to happen within your sign. So the card that came out was the fire ant. Underneath the deck, though, was the vulture. So this is a very interesting duo. I think that with all of these changes happening within the sign of Gemini, there's going to be a lot of activity in your sign. There's going to be a lot of directed attention towards your sign as well. And so I don't know if you heard that the fan of my computer was starting to speed up, and to me that's just really annoying, so I wanted to start a new shot. But what I was realizing was that is a little bit of what will be happening, I think, in the sign of Gemini. It's like kind of the old technology, the technology that has been, kind of the power that has been, is in a sense becoming overburdened because so many more eyes are now being directed towards your sign, towards Gemini. It's like so many more people, the older generations are now starting to make use of this technology that they haven't before. And it's like we need more power, we need more bandwidth. And that is kind of the vibe I'm getting for you. It's like it's gonna start to get real hot, and it might start to get a little bit argumentative. It's like people might start fighting over who's entitled to whatever bandwidth or whatever power that is left within this technology that is no longer able to keep up with the amount of people that want to use it. And so there might be kind of these like violent outbursts. And so I think that in your personal life, you might be feeling really confronted with outdated beliefs, outdated ways of handling your trauma, handling your annoyances, everything that triggers, everything that like pinches us and makes us like feel a little bit hot and just like, oh, get the fuck out of my space. All of those automatic thought patterns within the sign you carry, Gemini, is gonna come up for review, because this feels actually like a time, this next couple of years, but the process is really starting in May. It feels like a time where we need to create more space, and we need to be much more efficient with the way we use our energy, the way we use our power. And so with the vulture, it's interesting. The vulture goes into the dark places. It goes into the old, the grave, the old carcass that is almost completely decomposed. The vulture goes in there and it still finds, something to eat, something to digest, something to understand about what has been, and how what has been is now affecting what is. How can we use that vulture capability to go into the dark spaces, the rotting spaces of the old? How can we use that capability to create more room for ourselves? To create more bandwidth, to be more clever with the way that we use our power, our energy. And it's interesting to me. I mean, I'm a little bit of a word nerd. I actually do have my sun, thank God, in the third house in Gemini. And I'm very thankful for this, because I have no other air placements in my chart. And so it really is a breath of fresh air. And so I think that you're also a little bit, you like words, you like communication. And so I wanted to also share this, the vulture, the letters vol, it really talks about the spaces that are hidden. We have things like vulva, it's a hidden space. Almost volcano in some languages, it is like this. Also vulnerable, all of these words talking about the things that we are not necessarily willing to readily share, that are not necessarily visible to everyone at all times. But now it's something with that, with all eyes on you, Gemini, everyone looking at you, almost demanding that you find a solution for this, that you find a solution that you find a way to increase the power, that you find a way to increase the bandwidth, so that we can all use this technology that we want to use now. It's like the pressure is on you. And so I think that beginning in the month of May, you will start to feel this increase of pressure. And the danger with this is that, it's more easy to lose that beautiful kind of synchronistic way that you have. And so like I said, I have my sun in my third house, and that being the only air sign in my chart, I've had to learn how to kind of take on that Gemini quality in a more conscious way. And so I've been observing you guys, I've been looking at the Geminis, and I noticed that I don't think that there's any other sign that is so naturally synchronistic as a Gemini. And when I was observing the Gemini, I really realized that they are not trying to be synchronistic. And I think that that's the key. You know, they're not trying to do anything. They are allowing themselves to follow their inspiration, their instinct, their joy, whatever kind of just like lights them up. And so I think that when there is now an increase of pressure on the sign of Gemini, it can be easy to feel like you have to try harder. I think that that will be a mistake. I think that that will be a mistake. If you look at this card, you know, we're looking at it actually from above, you know, and so I feel that that's really part of the advice. It's almost like just create more space around you. If you feel the pressure, start to observe things from above, you know, take on kind of like a bird's eye perspective and just observe what is happening, you know, observe the triggers within you, observe how you want to react and retaliate when all of these vulnerable dark spots are being, you know, pinched at by others. But don't react from that place. That's what I'm getting. Don't react from that place, because it's like, I don't know what I'm feeling. It's like if you react from that place of, you know, retaliating, it's like you pinch me, so I'm going to pinch you. It's like you actually start to create also from that place. It's like you start to take on another's karma in a way because you react to it. And so this can get really sticky is what I'm feeling. It can get really sticky really quick because of this, you know, already increased pressure to begin with. And then, you know, when we start to kind of create more karma for ourselves, that also leads to a sense of increased pressure. And so, yeah, it's like this. It can fire up real quickly is what I'm feeling, beginning in May but continuing throughout 2020. But at the same time, if you're able to observe this from this bird's eye perspective, and also if you're able to, this is what I'm getting, I'm just channeling kind of information that I'm receiving. So personally, I don't really know if this is like it's gonna work, but I'm just sharing what I'm getting. But if you're able to observe what's happening from a bird's eye view, and also observe kind of the dark places that is linked to that trigger or that pain or that kind of, yeah, whatever it is that creates heat and discomfort, it's like you're gonna be able to bring fresh air into it. It's like you're gonna be able to expand it and expand through it, and it actually turns into a new power source. And so it's all somehow linked in a very complex picture that has to do with the generating new resources linked to power. And so that's a wide meaning, right? It can mean a lot of different things, but what I'm getting is that it all follows this kind of same pattern. So let's get into the card. I don't think I need to go on and on about this anymore now, but it's sometimes it's a little bit difficult to channel things because it's like I don't quite understand it fully myself, and so it's like this, you know, I see kind of these areas here, I see some areas, but then it's trying to zoom out so that I will get all of the details, you know, get the full picture, all of the details, and be able to communicate it in that way. And, you know, I know that I'm not able to. It's just too complex for me at this point in time. So I'm gonna keep it probably more symbolic, and let's see let's see where this reading goes. Okay. Okay, so let's just pull some cards. Let's pull some cards. For Gemini, please. I do like your energy though. It feels actually very composed and very like, you know, in a sense quiet before the storm. I have to be honest. It's like you're still able to keep graceful, even though there might be turbulence on the inside. So the cards that came out, you know, was justice, very fitting to what I was saying. You know, the ability to remain graceful, to not immediately react to triggers or whatever kind of pressure you might be feeling. But underneath the deck was the 5 of Wands. And so I do feel that you are realizing, even though you might not be sharing it with others yet, it feels like you are realizing that there are aspects within yourself that are not fully united. You know, there are aspects within you that for the time being, it's kind of like they are draining your power a little bit. I think that you know that if you were to be able to kind of process these and in a sense unite them with your higher self, with your higher potential, you know that you will gain more power, and you would actually also not just gain more power, but it will be easier for you to remain in this very natural synchronistic state of just, you know, having fun and enjoying yourself and being like really expansive and learning new things and all of those things, you know, that you love. So you're definitely aware of this. Let's see if we can get anything else. Interesting. Oh, I thought it was the moon coming out, but it was actually the 9 of Wands coming out there. And with the Wheel of Fortune. And so what this indicates to me is that this might be a little bit of a longer journey. It's something that I think that this is not new to you, you know. It's like, it's something that you've been working on for quite some time. You've actually been, whether or not you're fully conscious of it at this point in time, or it's like you've actually been preparing for this for a long time already. You know, it's like you've had a lot of experiences already that have prepared you for exactly what is to come in May, in 2020, 2021, and it has given you a set of, it's like it has given you a special type of awareness. I really feel that this is actually linked to the vulture. It's because of the moon up here. It's something to do with that you have gained throughout your experiences, based on your past. It's like you have gained a specific awareness that is somewhat unique to you, that allows you to notice very specific things, very specific kind of power leakages within your own system, within the system of others, and within, you know, the system in a broader way, in a broader meaning. And I think that, you know, this has given you access to a larger perspective. So I really love this. It shows me that you are actually already quite, you know, well off. In the beginning, I was a little bit worried that this might kind of catch you off guard, this pressure and this new change. But with these cards, I'm really feeling that as long as you kind of take a step back, as long as you zoom out your lens and look at the big picture, you'll be absolutely fine. You will know exactly how to handle your own technology. Maybe you will realize that, okay, I need to upgrade this part now. It's time to download the new software here because I see that the old one isn't functioning. But you will know what to do. It's not going to be that difficult for you not to react to these kinds of triggers that, let's face it, we are all kind of going to be tested with or presented with in the year to come, and also moving into 2021. So I love that. I don't know why I doubted you, Gemini. Let's see if there are any more cards that want to come out for Gemini. Okay. Wow, this is slightly unexpected as well. It's the Mother of Cups. Actually love it, with the Two of Swords underneath. And so I also feel that now we've been going about it in a very kind of cerebral way, in a mental way. Mentally, you know how to deal with this, but I also think that you actually have more powers than just the mental aspect. And it comes through here as the Mother of Cups, the Queen of Cups. Her essence is really that of the ability to create oneness. She is the one. She's the one. She can mirror everyone. She can become the one for everyone, the perfect mirror, because she knows how to kind of just tap into any kind of vulnerable places within that other person and support them within that space. And so with the Two of Swords, I feel that this is very much about you learning, you strengthening this ability within you to create this kind of unity, within yourself, within others, within communities, within society at large. Because the Two of Swords, if you look at it, we might associate that with not knowing quite what to do, not knowing which direction to go. But looking at the Two Swords, we see that there is a point of unity there. There is a point where those two swords merge. And that is kind of like a portal. If you're able to find that point of unity, that point of collaboration, that place where we can honor both our needs without ending up losing our freedom, without ending up losing kind of our ability to zoom out and to explore and to expand. I think that that's the point where we can really, really create a lot of magic and good fortune in the year to come. And so that is actually quite beautiful for you, Gemini. It's also quite a task, though. It's like in the year to come, when the North Node is in Gemini, it's like you're being tasked with this mission to not only teach people how to really go deep into things and to see where the technology in a broad sense is not functioning optimally, where we can find more power by looking into the old pieces. But it's also like your mission is to emotionally give support to these vulnerable places that you are discovering within yourself, within others, within the collective, so that they can actually so that they can actually, so that we can actually use that, so that we can actually, feed ourselves on that power that still exists there, even though it's old, even though it's like we've forgotten about it, it's hidden. It will still give us more power. And so I feel like you have a slightly similar energy actually to Cancer. It's like, it feels like you are part of your, it's like your energy, part of it, it's helping people to open up. It's helping people to zoom out, to see the big picture, and then open up, and then go into these root causes of where we are currently not able to maximize, in a sense, our power. So I think that's it for your reading, Gemini. Love the reading for you. I'm really excited to see what comes through for you in June and how this is going to be developing in the year to come. So I see you soon, and take care. Bye.